So I was doing some self-reflection last night and came across quite a bit that became brutally evident. Some I was aware of, but not the depth of fully, and others that I was unaware of. But either way, it does not negate the pain and suffering that I've had a massive hand in. I wrote down just a few points that I remember from that, an hour, maybe 2 hours of thought. There's many more, but I think I'm just going to start off with these and hope that they resonate in the right areas with the right people and offer a relief of any type that should have been never counted against others in the first place. In general, I've had a lack of strength, honestly, to prevent my own pain and suffering from bleeding out onto others in countless areas. Some of those areas, one being isolating myself instead of shouldering my own weight. This is a continual go-to for me. And this one's intentional because I knew I was enough aware of that half-ass coping skill and my excuses that go along with it. The fact that I even say that that would be a lesser of two evils if I'm not in a good place at that time is, again, it's just pushing off what I should be able to handle. And in a lot of ways, and those ways being magnified countless times as time goes on, that impacts not even people that are close to me, not even people that care about me or love me, but everyone. There's too many ways that I could describe that does negatively impact just about each and every one of us, but it does. Another is the times when, and there's been a lot of them, and again, I'm intentionally doing this because I know better, focusing on the limited amounts of negative energy. And that negative energy could be something that I don't like in a person. It could be an outcome that I personally don't think is the most appropriate outcome. And just about any other excuse that I could find and have found when I should have chosen to focus on the overwhelming good and positive in all people and situations, and have faith that I speak of in the divine hand and its purpose in everything. That one hits pretty hard in multiple areas. One, that's something that I've worked on, I feel like, extensively, and should have that down to a science, is seeing the good, which is so much more in everything, in everyone, commonalities, the positives, the strengths, rather than seeing any type of negative. And that's all due to my own pain and suffering, wanting to pass the blame, wanting to not shoulder the weight that is completely mine. The faith part is also a gigantic kick to the teeth. Again, this is something that I've held as a strength, yet still in times of pain and suffering, when my weakness is become too strong, I would rather lash out, blame, and hurt others rather than seeing the truth that I know to be certain. In any way you say it, whether you say pain and loss or discomfort or losing is our greatest teacher, or all the way up to the understanding that there is a divine hand and there is a highly intelligent force that I believe in solely, 100%, wholeheartedly. And that's me throwing my own faith back at the divine and saying, I know you've blessed me with this. I know you've taught me this. But right now I hurt so bad, I piss on you. It means nothing. Yeah, and not that happy with that one. Also allowing myself to pass blame onto others, people, areas, entities, to avoid seeing, and when I say avoid, I mean purposely, like very intentionally, to avoid owning how I was and am and will continue to be personally responsible for slowing and deterring our collective growth by neglecting my own responsibility. This one is a constant work in progress and seems to reveal even more of itself as I grow and work on these things. The areas that I'm most apologetic for are the areas that I was aware of and am aware of and have been for a long time and have even put out there as things that others should do. Even when I want to accept my area of responsibility, it's immediately followed by more than my responsibility or more than my share. And that right there is not more than my share. If I'm aware of it and if I can do something about it, then that would be like knowing that someone that I care about, or countless in this example, countless people that I care about and love, needing help and me walking right by and having the ability to help them. It is that blatant. There's areas that I'm not aware of. And though I am apologetic about those as well, there are still things that I'm learning. And you don't know what you don't know. And that is more than evident in my own life. But most importantly, the ones that I'm aware of. Again, it's taking blessings, lessons, and power that has been gifted to me and blessed to me to bring peace, understanding, and strength to my own life, and throwing it right in the dirt, stomping it out at times. Instead of sharing it with the very people that it has been entrusted and blessed to me to share with. For someone who says that I have a decent understanding of love, again, love 101, man. Just in certain times, in certain areas, intentionally just took and miswielded that and even turned it against the very people that I'm supposed to love and say that I do love and believe that I do love. In short, it's not loving those I claim to love as unconditionally as I've been shown to, resulting in miswielding the power that has been given to me. I don't know where I'm going to pay for that, but to shortchange the areas of love that I know and I am aware about or aware of will cost me dearly at some point. And that's not my reason for being apologetic about it. Let me not pass off that blame or weight either. It is so counterproductive to everything that to me is the most important. That's even worse than being the problem. That's just straight up serving a different master and turning the very thing as the key to saving us all, and not mine, just universal love, into a weapon and using it against us. And last but not certainly least, by intentionally and unintentionally spreading confusion and outright diversion from the Holy Crown's authority as a means of lashing out at my higher power in a childish vengeance. And I've got a million excuses rattling right behind that, and they're all excuses. It's whether being a smart ass or trying to show how much I know. All of that is surface layer. And it takes me zero time to scratch through it to see exactly what the truth is. And I knew better. Long ago, I asked for my share. And for a long time, and more importantly, as of late, I have held that share against the very powers in which trusted me, entrusted me with what I've asked for, begged for, pleaded for. And that's the overwhelming energy. The other excuses may or may not be there, but they're minuscule in the amounts. And I've relied on those in the past. And that's serving another master. All of these are, I don't expect anyone to spend more time than needed to realize exactly how detrimental and how impactful those have been and will continue to be, unless I do this, fix those needed areas, and not only not allow my pain and suffering to turn me into a counterproductive, vengeful, enemy, but to help increase and gain further and deeper knowledge of those areas due to not backsliding, half-stepping, or just doing things that I know that are counterproductive to the very needs that all of us have in the collective growth as a whole. To end on a positive note, I would like to give appreciation and thanks to the areas that I have been counterproductive. I would like to say selfishly for my own growth. But that would be selfish. More importantly, I'm thankful for it so that I can remedy those, correct errors in my solution or in my equation, my problem, the way I conduct myself in my life, in as many areas and as much as I possibly can, so that, one, I'm just strong enough to handle my share of the pain and suffering, which is mine and mine only. But to also, hopefully, be a what not to do example that others may find wisdom and utilize their strength where I was weak to keep those same mistakes from happening to the rest of us, and me included, that I allowed to happen to the very people that I hope will be stronger than me. Lastly, this is not some type of quick fix or something that I'm trying to find personal alleviation from. Quite the contrary. This is something that will add to my pain and suffering, and rightfully so, until it's been completely eliminated. But this is a desperate attempt to strengthen all of us. Through my own errors, so that others may be stronger and more successful, more loving, and better to one another than in the areas and times that I wasn't, fell short, and chose to. I'm a little worked right now. I think you can tell my voice. It's been a roller coaster. There's been goods and some really hards over this last night. But I do mean this, and I actually don't even just mean it, need it. That if you have a need, desire to specify any of the ways that I caused anyone or anything pain and suffering that I'm either unaware of or didn't cover to an acceptable amount, I beg you to, under a different name if you want. You don't have to be specific. I'll probably know. And be specific if you need to be. Point out in comments, in an email, matthew.o.daniel@protonmail.com, or a text or a phone call. And make me aware of said area, especially if it's concerning you. So that I may correct that and keep it from happening again, hopefully. And if not, if inadvertently or advertently, intentionally or unintentionally, miss it again, well, at least it's energetically on me. So quite literally, you'd be blessing me and blessing us all by doing so. Don't worry about sparing feelings. In this area, the pain is the medicine. And with those, I'll do a follow-up video covering those that resonate and appear, and those that don't or go unmentioned, don't think they don't go unread. And they will be internalized, and they will be brought to the forefront now that 100% of that energy will be squarely on my shoulders. And the ramifications for me not changing will be on me as well. Whether I mention them or not. Still growing.